So we are going to listen to Backbending 60 as your playlist tonight. And we're staying with the theme of backbends. It's week 3 now. Can't believe the first week I was in Ibiza for this. And 3 weeks in, it feels like that was ages ago. And actually, it also feels like it was just yesterday. So Backbending 60 is your playlist. When you get to it, which it should be, I mean, it was played fairly recently by me, so it should be somewhere in the realms of up top. But we'll start it together in 3, 2, 1, play. I'm actually going to invite you first pose of tonight, and you would have seen if you looked at my Instagram that tonight isn't, and this whole backbending series on a Wednesday, because we've gone from doing strength last month to coming into a very specific area of the body theme. I'm not trying to make this really intensely challenging for all of us. I'm not trying to make it like the hardest thing you've ever done with your spine. So we're going to slowly open the psoas. We're going to open the suppleness in the spine. We're going to do that through breath, through movement, and also through staying still and pausing in poses. And this is our first shape. So we're going to lay with our hips supported in a psoas stretch. So you can use a bolster. I'm just using my meditation cushion, partly because it's already here, but also because I quite like the feeling of the cushion because it's really centralized in the lower back. Now, I would also have a couple of blocks and maybe a strap nearby, just in case you want to use them throughout class. But come and get yourself onto your prop and make sure the shoulder blades and the back of the head can easily rest on the floor. Backs of the hands to the floor, arms out wide or up high, whatever feels good. And just take a moment with the knees still bent so that you can just arrange the body on top of the bolster or the cushion as you need to. And if and when it feels good to, you can start to straighten out the legs. And just taking your time to breathe a little deeper. And let the belly fill up with air. Let the belly soften. And you don't have to straighten the legs out straight away. And if you do it and then you feel like that's too intense for the back in any way, then please just rebend the knees. And just allow the body to really soften. Feeling the breath in the front of the body where the hips are, the thighs are, the lower belly is. And lots of you have come to this practice week in, week out so far for this specific theme. And so if there's been an intention or a way that you've approached this practice that works for you, I'm just starting to bring that intention or that thought process to the front of the mind, allowing your mind to catch up with where your body is right now. Whatever your day has brought, wherever you've been, whatever you've seen and done. And we're just here for about 5 more rounds of breath, just in stillness. And I want you to know that throughout practice today, at any moment, you can find And drop into the stillness and the pause in the body. Don't have to keep moving, even if the rest of us are, even if the guidance is to move and to flow. Keep coming into moments of stillness and pause. I'll guide some of them, and then there may be ones for yourself that you wish to include to enhance where you're at. And slowly bend the knees if the legs are straightened. Pause for a moment here. And from this space, elevate hips off of cushion and let the hips come all the way down to the floor. Gentle rock with the knees, left to right, side to side, releasing out the lower back. And picking the legs up off the floor, knees to chest, gentle rock, left to right, side to side. And then let the knees drop all the way over to the right hand side to begin with. And take the left arm out wide, the right arm out wide in a T shape. Now, if it's not possible because of space to do this, you can cactus the arms, but I'm going to encourage us to take a big sweeping motion with this left arm to open up the shoulder, the left side of the chest, and the body. So left arm's going to slide all the way down towards the bum, towards the left thigh, up and over the left thigh, up and over the right hand, all the way up and around, over the top of the head, back of the hand to the floor, opening into that T shape again. And we start the whole process from there. We go again. We'll do 5 of these in total on each side. So we get to really open up through the shoulders whilst in the twist, feeling the spine starting to bring itself into rotation in a really subtle, I guess, but in a really subtle way. It enhances the element of back bending for us already. So before we even start to move and groove the body. When you get to 5 and if you've lost count, don't worry. When you have taken your next opening through the shoulders, bring the knees back to the center. Hug them to the chest, squeeze them in. Gentle rock side to side again, little massage through lower back. And then drop the knees over to the left. Let the right arm come out really nice and wide. T shape in the body. Feel both shoulders heavy on the earth. And from here, we'll make our conscious effort now to start sweeping right arm down, all the way up and over the right leg, up and over the left arm, and all the way around, full circle. And we'll just allow the body to just move this way, expanding, finding space, breathing into that space. And when you've done 5 or there and thereabouts, you feel nice and open in the body and the shoulder, rolling back onto your backs. Maybe you need to wiggle yourself more to the center of the mat. And then taking happy baby, so peace fingers around big toes or hands around edges of feet, soles of the feet to the sky. Deep breath in and out through the nose. And if you're being hit with the cold and flu season, then maybe it's kind of half in through the nose, half in and out through the mouth. Rock left to right, side to side. A little massage in lower back. A big massage in lower back. Then slowly from here, release the feet. Bring the hands around the backs of the thighs as you draw the knees in and together. Rock up and down the spine. Take a little bit of momentum here, okay? So really try to bring yourself into that feeling of kind of rocking boat, rocking horse. I mean, maybe the boat is rocking. They did make a song about it after all. So when we come up to the top, you're going to extend your legs out in front of you. Right leg's going to stay as it is. You're going to bend your left knee. First part of the sequence, we're going to start to lean back into the front of the left thigh, so leaning backwards, feeling the stretch happen in this kind of half hero shape. Now you can stay on your hands, you can come onto your elbows, you can lay back. Just take a couple more breaths here, okay? So it's like a kind of semi-brief visit to the pose. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. And then from here, rise the head up, chest up, body up, wherever you got to, push into the hands. Press forward, we arrive in our low lunge. Now we might need to tuck the left toes and slide left knee back a little way. And when we get there, you can place one or both hands onto your right thigh. Use a block if that feels good as well, or blocks either side of your leg. And let's just take a little bit of movement into the left hip flexor, okay? So whatever you've done with your day, it's unlikely going to have served up real spaciousness in the entire body. Hip flexors can be one of the biggest things that suffers, sadly. Yeah, because whenever we sit or curl up, or even if we're still for a long period of time, this is the place, the front of the thigh, the front of the hip, the psoas tends to get a little bit tight and contracted. Deepen the breath, take another inhale. Another exhale. Top of the foot to the floor, toes untucked. Inhale, lift the left knee. Exhale, gently place it down. We're going to go for 4 more just like that. Inhale, push into the top of the foot, lift the left knee. Exhale, lower. Work with your breath. Try and focus the press in all areas of the foot. So you might start off by mainly putting weight into the outer edge of the foot. So it's more like on the little toe edge or the big toe edge. And you're going to just work each time to focus the weight and energy distribution a little more. Yeah, practicing lifting and lowering through that left psoas as well. Lower the left knee, but tuck the back toes. Shuffle the knee in a little bit, not quite as deep on the hips in this lunge. We're going to go more into lifting the arms, opening up the chest, reaching the hands above the head. You can drop your hips forwards and down, of course. Push into the right foot, bend the elbows, cactus the arms, big breath in. Long exhale. Clasp the hands behind you, lean forward. As you interlace the fingers, pick up the back knee. Drop the left heel in and down, humble warrior, chest to the inside of your right thigh. So I guess this is where you may wish to start using your strap, if you're using one. Start to breathe a little deeper, just adjusting the angles there. There we go. A bit different from my dad's front room, which has about literally as much room to swing. I mean, not that I've tried swinging a cat in there, but I said that like as if I had experience there. Literally swinging a cat, not quite. Yeah. Slowly releasing the hands, come all the way up. Straighten the right leg. Flip your right palm. Slide your left hand down your back thigh. Feel the length through the right side of the body. Reversing or leaning away, really. Think about the space and the lift through the front edge of the body here. Wimble the hands either side of the right foot. Turn onto the ball of your back foot. Back knee down. Kicks down the left foot out to the side. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Reach your right arm up and over, bicep by the ear. Big side body stretch. Breathe. Okay, so less side plank action right now. More can you get breath into every fiber of your being in the waist. Let your ear drop to your shoulder. Let there be a heaviness in the head, the neck. Can you breathe a little more? Okay, so let's push into this left hand now. I want you to get super active through your right leg and your right arm. Squeeze your bum more. So yes, you've still got length, but here you're going to hover the left knee off the floor as you inhale. And put it down as you exhale. Yeah. 2 more. Inhale, hover the left knee. Exhale, let it come down. Spicy. Inhale, hover the left knee. Exhale, down. Okay, from here, we're going to spin to thread the needle. So come onto both knees, facing the down towards the mat. Right arm threads all the way under. Left hand stays grounded. Tuck your left toes as well. Press into your left hand. Feel the twist. Maybe your left hand comes to the sky. Breathe deep. And then slowly from here, bringing the hand back down. Your left knee back down. Unthread the right arm. Bring the hands to the top corners of the mat. Puppy dog. Let the chest sink. Let the heart get closer to the floor. Beneath you, let the belly soften. Allow there to be space. As you get heavier here, feel that stretch deepening across the chest, the shoulder. Slide back. Sit to the heels, slow and steady. Rise all the way up. And shift your weight to the right side. Keep your right knee bent. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Half hero on this side. Let the knees be kind of close towards each other. Lean back into the hands. Lean back into the elbows. Lean all the way back so you can lay on your back if that feels good. Let the head drop back too, if that feels good. Big opening through the front body. Feel the space through the chest. Notice where you're feeling the breath touch and where it's more of a challenge to get the breath into. Last 2 breaths. And slowly will rise all the way up. And as you do, push into your hands. Come forwards, come into low lunge. Wriggling left foot forwards. Now before you might have put a block underneath one hand and then your opposite, so left hand this time, onto the left thigh if that feels good, or you could put both hands to blocks, whatever feels best for you, but it's about working into the right hip flexor with the body weight now leaning down, gravity also doing its work. Before we're kind of manipulating the thigh and hip by leaning backwards, deliberately putting it on stretch. Here, it's as far as the ligaments, tendons, and fascia will go before they meet their wall, before they meet their resistance. And slowly from here, we're going to come all the way up into our low lunge. So you might wriggle the right knee in a little bit just to give a bit more stability as you reach the hands up. And then cactus the arms or spread the arms wide. Maybe then you drop down a little bit further. I missed that really vital component then, but it's okay because we can go straight back to it. We're going to come forwards, bring the right hand to the floor or block, left hand to the thigh. Back toes are untucked as you inhale, push into the top of the foot, lift the knee. Exhale, lower down. As you inhale, lift the back knee. Exhale, lower. Now you might find on one side there's a bit more, I wouldn't say ease necessarily, but maybe a bit more strength or feeling of stability. 2 more. Yeah, so just breathe with it. See if you can still move the weight around on the top of the foot. 1 more. Okay, come back into your low lunge. Shuffle the right knee in a little bit. Inhale, open up through the shoulders. Then clasp the hands behind you. Back toes are tucked this time. As you exhale, lean forwards, push the knuckles down and away. Back knee lifts, heel in. Drop the chest. Push the knuckles over. Breathe. And then inhale, lift up, pull through the body, straighten the front leg. Flip the left palm, reverse, away from top edge of mat. Breathing deep into the side of the body. And then slowly from here, wimble the hands down. Frame the left foot, turn onto the ball of your right foot, set the knee down, kickstand the right foot over to the right, left leg back, stretch the arm up and over by the ear. Okay, let the opposite ear drop towards the shoulder. Squeeze the bum. Feel, first of all, the most important part of this is the length in the left side of your body. So all the way from your shoulder, all the way down to the outside of the hip. Breathing deeper. Okay, from here, keep the left foot strong and long, and the right hand rooted. Okay, left arm is also really engaged, really strong, stable. Inhale, press into the foot and the hand, hover the right leg. Exhale, set the knee down. Inhale, hover the right knee. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale, down. Turn to face the mat, thread the needle, left arm all the way under. Feel that twist and rotation. Tuck your right toes, elevate the knee. Use your right hand to support you, or maybe reach the right hand to the sky eventually. Bit of balance, twisting, opening. Nice, bring the right hand down, unthread the left, and slide the knees to the center of your mat, and bring the knees together, feet wide. Come and sit back into your hero pose. So you might start to move yourself backwards. Now, of course, the blocks are around, I hope, for you to use, okay, or cushions. So you can sit up onto one of those, first of all. Let the internal rotation happen. Excuse me, dry throat. And allow yourself to maybe lean back. Maybe you catch your fingertips to the floor. If you're on the block, I would say the furthest you go back is probably your hands flat. When you start to bring your elbows down, sorry, with your hips elevated, you'll come into quite a deep for the lower back bend, and it will start to compress more than enhance the feeling of spinal opening. So leaning back, feel that space. If you want to take the block out after a few breaths, you can. Just here for a bit of time exploring, just seeing. If you're laying all the way back, arms above the head, big front body opening here. We'll just go into where our capacity is this evening, right here. Press into your hands, rise up and come forwards. Hands and knees. We'll roll through cat and cow for a few rounds here. So a few rounds of cat and cow. Breathe. And notice the feeling in your thighs, your back, your belly, the front of the body. And we'll go again in a moment for Anahatasana, a puppy dog pose. So when you next inhale, stretch the arms out in front of you, let the chest drop. And for me, I always like to pinch the edges of the mat in this pose at the moment. It's my preferred way, and pulling the corners of the mat forwards and away from me gives me a bit more of a grip and allows me to explore this shape a little deeper. Slide forwards, come onto your belly. Stack your hands underneath your forehead and gently rock your hips left to right, side to side, and then get a bit more vigorous with it. And then slow the movement down entirely. Bend the knees, heels towards the bum. Reach back with the hands, bow pose. So reach the hands all the way back for the feet. Just gentle bow, I'm going to call it. Just little baby bow. From here, kick the feet into the hands. Let there be elevation through the front of the body as you kick. Feel the length through the front body. Slowly releasing the feet. Okay, we're going to come back to that, but I want us to come into broken wing pose first. Extreme edition, elbow bent. So right angle in the right elbow as you place the palm to the floor. Bend the left knee, bend the left elbow, push into the left hand. I'm going to use a block maybe under the side of my head as well, just to add a little bit more support into the pose as I come over. I'm trying to search my left foot for the floor, but don't get hung up on if it doesn't come down to the ground, okay? And if the block under your head doesn't feel comfortable, you can always take it out. Just feels nice to have the neck sometimes in line with the spine. Maybe that's for you, that's happening with your head on the floor. Make sure that the right hand hasn't come in. It can have a tendency to do that because as soon as it's put under pressure, you can have a tendency to kind of try and come back towards the body. Now from this space, and just gently start to roll onto your front. Take your time. Same thing in the other direction. Left elbow out at a right angle. Right hand supporting. Pushing into the right hand, rolling up and over. Use the block to support the head. And slowly from here, rolling onto your front. Move the block out of the way. Come back into bow pose. Reach the hands back until the left shoulder feels ready as you bend the knees. Catch the feet. Take a deep breath in as you kick the feet into the hands and feel the difference in the shoulders now. There's probably more elevation able to happen because the shoulders aren't quite on such a deep stretch. It really doesn't matter if you're here or if your feet are almost on the back of your head. Okay, the fact is we're going where we want to go with our energy level right now, with our efforting level. Release the feet, release the hands. Oscillating cobra, tops of the feet to the floor, feet slightly wider than your hips, elbows pointing up to the sky, fingertips down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, roll back down. Feet widening the hips gives a really nice base, I always find for this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, roll. Couple more. Feel the spaciousness in the spine as you arrive upwards. Nice. You can move as much as you want. So you can make this a little bit like when we take our crazy cat-cow. Yeah, you can move around a bit more with this as well. That feels good. And downward facing dog. Come down, tuck toes, up and back. Feel the length of the spine. Feel a shift in the body. The direction change from the sacrum all the way down to the crown of the head. That feeling of lengthening. And from this space, right leg up, back, and over. So right hip opens. Option to stay as you are, flip your dog, step your right foot all the way over the top, coming into your wild thing. Push your hips high. Reach your pelvis to the sky, drop your head back. Nice, beautiful. Then coming all the way through pigeon pose, right knee behind right wrist. You've got your bolster nearby or that cushion. I'm going to grab mine actually. So even if you haven't, grab it. If it's not nearby, take it nearby. We're going to slide it underneath the center of the pelvis to give us a little way of coming upright without having to have either one hip hitched up by a block or having to have our hands really holding a lot of our weight. So find yourself really central on that cushion or the bolster. And if it feels okay to come up, walking the hands onto the thigh. Breathe. Maybe you drop the head back. Last 2 breaths. Let the weight move backwards. Let there be an opening through the front body deeper than there may already be. Then coming forward slightly. Shuffle the left knee in. Enough so that you can just move the cushion out to the side. Tuck in the toes, extending the leg back. Three-legged dog, right leg high. Staying on the same side, right foot steps between the thumbs. Back knee off the ground as you rise up into your high lunge. When you get to your high lunge, cactus the arms and then roll forwards. Now listen, you might not feel like you want to roll all the way over the toes. That might be painful. So if like me, you'd rather not roll over, see if you can flip the top of the left foot down, but hinge the weight forwards first, shift it into the front leg. Okay, push into the left toes, lift the chest, deep breath in. Long exhale. Stay with the weight in the right leg, hands in prayer as you come forwards, left knee to chest. Dancer's pose. Option, as we did last week, grab the strap, lasso the foot, work with the balance and the hands on the strap over the head. If that felt like too much, or if tonight you're just coming at this with a different feeling or a different want, which is totally cool, we're going to start to catch the inner arch of the left foot with the left hand. Right hand high. Option always is right hand to wall. Kick the foot back. But if you're using that strap, yeah, we're going for gold. Yes. Kick the foot up into the sky. Good. Nice. Lift the chest. Nice, Eve. Yes, you're still looking up towards that right thumb. Really nice, everyone. Good. Lovely, Wick. Find the balance. Push into that right foot. Really lovely, everyone. Really good. Slowly from here, from this place, wherever you are, set the left foot back down. Normal high lunge. Inhale. Let the strap just drop to one side. Right hand to the back of left thigh. So reach it back. Yeah, right hand to back of left thigh. Twist and lean away from the front of your practice space. Keep going back. Keep leaning back. Send your right knee further forwards. Send your left heel further away. Windmill the hands down. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips high to the sky. From down dog, inhale, ripple forwards, find plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, all four, chaturanga, come down. Finding your back bend, but bring your feet wider than hips again. Inhale, push into your hands. Bend at your knees. Imagine your toes are trying to touch the back of your head. Nice. Drop the head back, push into the hands. Exhale, child's pose, press back. Big toes touch. Forehead to the floor. Let your hips gently rock. A little side to side, bob. Forwards and back. And then look forwards to the top of your mat, slide forwards onto your belly again. Find your back bend, feet stay wide. Bend knees. Look up between the eyebrows, third eye center or sky. Toes as if they're coming to the back of your head. Nice. Then back, child's pose. Rock the hips. Bob the hips back and forwards. Then look forwards, lift the chest, inhale. Slide forwards. Back bend. Feet wider than hips, bend the knees last time. Toes as if they're going to touch back of head. And slowly back into your child's pose. Big toes touch. Breathe. And then push into the hands with the head. Tuck the toes under. Downward facing dog. Feel the difference in your downward facing dog now. Sacrum might need a bit more time to kind of adjust here to the pose, to feel the lengthening benefits, to get heavy through the head, that the spine decompresses. Left leg to the sky, inhale. Bend the left knee, open the hip. We're going to drop the left foot all the way up and over, wild thing. Feel the stretch on this side as you reach the left hand forwards. Big lengthening, strengthening. Press the hips higher, deep breath in. Exhale, come all the way through with the left knee coming behind the left wrist, coming to sit the hips down. We're finding our pigeon. Okay, so we're looking for that bolster or that cushion support to be underneath more the center of the pelvis. And when we get it, we're going to start to walk the hands back, rise the chest up. And maybe now we've done some of those back bends of trying to get the toes to the back of the head. There just feels like there's a bit more space or even strength to be in this position. That's what I often find, is that you come to this shape now and it's a bit stronger. Drop the head back, lift the chin. Couple more breaths. Stay with it. Don't worry about what it looks like. Think about how it feels like. What's going on in the body as you do this. Drop the head and heart forwards, walk the hands forwards. Move your prop out to one side, tuck the right toes, left leg to the sky, inhale. Set the left foot through between the thumbs. As you exhale, rise up. We're finding our high lunge. Then we're going to cactus the arms. And from here, shift the weight into the left leg even more. Again, you might roll over your toes. You might need to just step forwards to flip onto the top of your right toes, of your right foot, pushing down. Yeah, maybe. Maybe on one side it doesn't work quite as well. Lift the chin away from the chest, find the space. And stay with the weight in your left leg, lean forwards, hands in prayer. Shift the right knee up towards the chest for a moment. Find your balance. If you need to get your strap, grab it now. Lasso the right foot. Dancer's pose. However you want to get there. Yeah. Whatever feels good on your body tonight. And on this side. Because let's be honest, often one side doesn't quite have the same intention of balance as the other. Yeah, depending on what's what in our bodies. Beautiful, everyone, nice. Big kick of that foot up and back. So even if the strap isn't involved, still kick the foot into the hand. Nice. It might be wobbly. Might be really wobbly. Find your focus for 2 more breaths. Well done, everyone. Let go of the strap, the foot. Step back, find your lunge and find your steadiness. Left hand to back of right thigh. Right arm reaches. Wing other hands down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards to plank. Exhale, lower, all the way to the floor. And then from here, flip onto your back. Turn it all the way up and over. 3 rounds of wheel pose. So 3 rounds of wheel. Front body opening. Now, of course, wheel isn't in everyone's bodies. And so, of course, there are modifications. I'll just talk you through a couple of them. So the first one is if you want to attempt a wheel pose, but the wrists or the pressing action isn't really happening as well for you as you'd like it to or you need it to, use a couple of blocks, one each side of the head, for the hands to rest on, and wedge the other edge of the block away from you against the wall. Okay, that way you've got a bit of firm grounding and something to press into. Okay. Other option is to come into the pose we first did, but use something higher. Okay, so the opening pose was supported bridge, kind of, but really supported psoas stretch. So you can use something a lot higher to press into. You can, of course, take traditional bridge pose, but I feel like that what doesn't open the front body in the same way that we're just trying to get to, okay? So have a go. And even if you can do wheel without the blocks against the wall, you may even wish to try that tonight, okay? When you come into wheel, regardless of blocks or no blocks, you're turning onto the top of your head, resetting the hands and then pressing, okay? My mat is super slippery tonight. I don't know what's going on. It's like acted for an ice rink on this thing. Every time I put my hands down, I feel like I'm going in the other direction. So I won't do it with my hands. So let's say I'm doing the wall with the block. Yeah, I'm pushing into them. I'm going to turn onto the top of my head, and then I'm going to continue my push. And what I like about using the blocks for me is that I can enhance my back bend. I can get my face to keep floating closer to the wall. For me, this actually feels like a deeper back bend without me having to go to much more of a different shape. Actually, it feels nice on my wrist as well. My intention is face to wall. And your intention, nice, lovely, everyone, is at least 5 breaths before you come down and match it with another 5. So this is an enhanced part of the practice. We aren't rushing it. And then when you take in your 5, pause. Same thing again. So it's like we're re-energizing, and then we're allowing ourselves to instantly integrate and start integrating, and to actually recalibrate before we do another one. Because this is a strong pose. And actually, if you're laying on your back with your hips supported, what you may choose to do is take 5 lovely long breaths and then bend the knees, 5 breaths, maybe adding in an extra bit of cushioning or an extra prop underneath your hips. Yeah, we'll go again. So take your time. And maybe you find more depth, more strength, more availability. And those 5 breaths are really your very powerful pause moment, your moment in the middle to just feel the sensation, to listen to the sounds, to feel the body. You not have to think about what's happening next, because you know one more round of this. When you're ready, final 5. When you come down, if you're from your wheel pose, Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together, knees wide. 10 breaths after your final round there. Notice the sensation. Front body opening is just such an enlivening, enriching experience in practice. With the side bends, I find them some of the most empowering and awakening ways of exploring the body and really feeling prana, the life force that lives within all of us, really noticing it. Because these are the places that are often just so tight, resistant, restricted. 5 more breaths in total pause. Your hips have been elevated. You're, of course, welcome to come into Baddha Konasana 2 after you've had the knees bent for a moment. And slowly from here, slide hands underneath your thighs. Bring knees together. And then we're going to come into a twist here. So hug the knees in. Just take a little rock side to side first of all. And then from this space, drop the knees over to the right side. And keep the legs stacked on top of each other as you kick both feet away. So straightening out the legs. And if there's not room for this, can you make room by gently shuffling to the left? If there simply is no space at all, then keep the knees bent, but really focus on pressing your left sit bone down towards the earth beneath you. Same with those of us that have the legs straight. Left arm out wide. Left side of the chest open. And from this space, bend the knees. Legs back through the center. Shuffle over onto your right side a little more. Over to your right. Knees and legs come over to the left. Extending the leg. And the right arm out wide. And again, just feeling into the body. That shoulder, rotator cuff on the right side, the armpit, all of the tissue around there. And slowly from here, we bend the knees, coming back through to the center. Squeeze the knees and legs in. Rock and roll up and down your spine. You're working into your halasana plow pose. So feet above the head, if that feels good. Up and over. Or if that doesn't feel so good, if you feel like it's a little bit of a troubling place to get to for you, come into straight leg forward fold. Breathe deeper. More of a length through the spine. And if your feet are over the top of your head, try and tuck your toes under and actively press your heels away. Yes. And as you tuck your toes under and actively push your heels away, think of your tailbone lifting up towards the sky. Take more energy into your legs. Take 3 more breaths where you are. Unravel the spine, whichever way you're going, and come to the wall so you can place your legs up the wall. This will be your finishing pose for the evening, legs up the wall pose. Take your time to get towards it. Allow yourself to be really supported by that wall. No having to hold the body in your inversion. And deepen the breath as you arrive there. Make sure you feel really comfortable. Make any adjustments to the body now, any extra layers, support that you need. As you lay here with the eyes closed, releasing any requirement to do or be. Maybe a sigh through the mouth. Let the breath go. And as you do, allow the breath to release. Let your body really soften. The next time you hear me, I'll be bringing you back from Shavasana, or from this resting space rather, which is what we're taking as our Shavasana tonight. Let yourself just be here now. your breath deepen. Allow there to be more spaciousness in the body just by inhalation and exhalation. And you'll start to slowly feel yourself wake up, become a little more present. As you do, begin to bend the knees, place the feet flat against the wall, gently pushing into the wall enough so that you can have space to roll onto your left or right hand side, and just pause for a moment. You'll feel the fizzing and the tingling coming back to the legs. And gently coming up to seated, eyes still closed. Hands together in prayer. We'll take our thumbs to third eye. And together this evening we'll seal our practice as we always do, with a bow of love, honor, and of respect, remembering that we are all connected. We are one. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much, yogis.